We do go under very serious threats on daily basis when we're doing our investigations. Because we investigating the law enforcement officers that commit crime and they don't want to be arrested. But that doesn't stop us from doing our duties. We continue to do our duties even though we know that our lives are at risk. As I had indicated to say, my car was once shot at. I was with my kids. It passed. I continued with my duties as normal. But there is a time where my son was also shot. We thank God he didn't pass on, but his life changed from that day because he was bound. But thank you to the Lord that he can try to walk now.
This was a second incident.
My son was the first. My son was the first incident, and then my car was the second incident.
And just give us the dates of both incidents again, please.
Commissioners, this mission maybe be to give to the SC.
All right. No,
yes,
no.
And not give them.
No. That's in order.
I confirm. I'll receive them and I shall inform the commissioners accordingly. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Controversial Podcast. In today's episode, I just want us to talk about the IPID investigators that were giving their testimony at the Matlanga Commission. It's so sad what they have to go through, like just because they are doing their job, they have to receive threats, especially Miss Masuku. Her son was shot. Fortunately, he's alive, and for the fact that he was in a wheelchair just because he was trying to protect his mother, it is such a sad situation. I don't think the government is serious about protecting their employees, especially those who are in the law enforcement, who are good employees, who are dedicated to their job and working very hard and just want to clean this country, want to see change, who want to end corruption in this country. They are treated like they mean nothing just because they're investigating the police officers, talking about the thugs, the criminals who belong to jail. The reason why it's like this, politicians are benefiting from this because most of the time these police officers are working closely with politicians. Let's look at the issue of illegal immigrants, those illegal immigrants from Lesotho who are busy mining illegally here in South Africa. Who's giving them the weapons? It's people here in South Africa, your business people who pretend to be business people but they're thugs, and also politicians. Marius van der Merwe died trying to fix those things of illegal mining. He's no more. Not only that, he exposed the murder of Mbenze. The man was killed by police officers. That is why he's no more. It's very difficult for IPID, for those IPID investigators to investigate police officers. This was done deliberately because I still want to say that this was done deliberately because, our politicians are benefiting from this. Tell me why can't they just hire more investigators and work for IPID, because you can see that we've got so many police officers who are criminals. Why can't they do that? It's not only in the IPID. Not so long ago, I think it was last year, maybe around November, December, there's a general from SANDF, the Navy one, who stated that the politicians are doing things deliberately. They don't want to buy them more equipment. The things that they're using are very old. Not only that, they don't want to hire more soldiers. They don't want to train them. This thing is done deliberately. If the law enforcement is weak, Like, who's going to benefit from that? Obviously, it's those politicians who are doing shenanigans in this country, and also those thugs who happen to be police. Even the former minister of SAPS, Peggy Cele, mentioned that under Zuma's administration, the SAPS was weakened, like it was infiltrated, and it was now difficult to do the job. Hence, he was suspended. He was explaining at the Matlanga Commission. No, I mean, not at the Matlanga Commission. He was explaining all of that at the ad hoc committee. And he was just highlighting the challenges that the police are having. Like, for instance, they will arrest a criminal, a hardcore criminal. And what will happen? That person will get a bail. The court will grant them bail, like would be happily knowing exactly that this person has killed so many people, or this person is dealing with drugs, so they're misusing bail. You'll find out that the person has got more than 5 bail applications. They are aware, even our president is aware of this. I had him when he was addressing the country at the State of the Nation address, where he spoke about he's going to deploy more soldiers in Gauteng and in Western Cape. It doesn't make sense at all. Why couldn't he arrange a meeting with the top cop, Fani Masemula, and also the provincial commissioners, and just tell them what they're planning to do, and this is what he wants? Like, why put that information in public platforms? He wants to alert all those criminals because he knows somehow he's implicated. I mean, we've seen at the Matlanga Commission again, where Ket Matlala had 2 ID numbers of the president. I'm talking about President Cyril Ramaphosa. Why was Matlala having those 2 ID numbers? That man is a criminal who's masquerading as a businessman. He's definitely not a businessman. He's not a tenderpreneur. He's a criminal because he kills people. Allegedly, I'll just say allegedly, but it is alleged that he's also involved in drug-related activities. Apparently, he also kidnapped his friend, Jerry, and he doesn't want to speak about it. We've seen that brigadier about a week ago who was at the Matlanga Commission. I think it's Majeng who was dating Vusimuzi Ket Matlala. Vusimuzi Ket Matlala also gave that lady Ozempic money. He was blessing that brigadier, like he got like 300,000 rand. It is such a shame that our police officers, top officials, are busy playing with criminals instead of investigating them and arresting them. Like, what the heck? Why would you, a whole brigadier, why would you date a tenderpreneur? Because we know those tenderpreneurs are not innocent. It is really painful, like, honestly. And you can see Vusimuzi Ket Matlala was calling the shots at the SAPS. He knew top officials. He knew Sinona. He referred to Sinona as his brother. He has police officers who are busy doing errands for him. The law enforcement agencies collapsed a long time ago, and the General of KwaZulu-Natal, the top cop of KwaZulu-Natal, General Ntila Mkhwanazi, exposed the politicians. Like, it's something that we knew about it. Like, we knew about it a long time ago, but he had to have balls to speak about it. And I really hope that Mr. Magagula and Miss Masuku can be protected, because what I've heard there, it's painful. Like, I was even crying. Why are they not protected, knowing exactly that they are dealing with police officers here, not just some small criminals? Why can't they just fund that department so that they can deal with those rotten police officers there? Like, why are they not funded? They don't have guns. I mean, I heard that there was a time when they didn't have guns. Like, what the heck? You are investigating police officers here. I mean, how are you going to protect yourself? They don't even have state cars. It's such a shame. It is such a shame. President Cyril Ramaphosa is an embarrassment. Share your views on this one. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye. See you on the next episode.